I mean, the thing with ratings is we become ratings obsessed, and it's really going back to the Monday Night War era because that's what
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
all
so.
about. Like, oh, what show's winning? What did their number this day? What is their number this day? But I really barely hear anybody else talk about ratings, like in life. I never hear. When did you see the View did a 2.5 share last night or yesterday evening? Joy Behar is really driving ratings up. Like you don't hear anybody else talking about that. I think the only two people in the last 5 years I've heard talk about ratings are people in the wrestling world and the former president of the United States. They're the only people I've heard talk about ratings.
You might be right on that right there, bro. But yeah, man. The news in the wrestling world pretty much been slow, but a couple of things I want to talk about. NXT 2.0.
Yes.
I want to talk about that first, just because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm really digging where NXT is going right now. It's totally a different vibe. It's a totally different show. It's something that I always thought NXT should be, as well as I think what this thing has really done more than anything is given those guys that's ready to come up out of that system, get them put in the main roster storylines immediately. As well as the only thing that's going to do for me is give these guys more people to work with, and that's what we talk about with WWE more than anything is we seen everybody pretty much work with each other. It's pretty much a cycle now. It's like washing your clothes. But now with all the influx of the NXT talent going straight to the main roster, I think this is going to be a game changer, man. I just do. I like it.
Well, I mean, they're already within, I don't know, it's just 4 or 5 weeks maybe into NXT 2.0. I'm not exactly sure how long it's been on, maybe 4 weeks. But they're already creating buzz around new stars. Literally 4 weeks ago, no one's talking about Braun Breaker. Like, no
Yeah,
one knew who he was.
yeah.
Except, hey, Rick Steiner's kids in WWE, but you never heard of him really from there. So now they're already creating stars. And I think that this show, the way that it's formatted, the way that it looks, I think it has stronger legs, as you said, to get those guys onto the next spot. And really, when they get to the main roster, be ready for it. I think that for so long, I think Triple H did a great job and has continued to do a great job, and Shawn Michaels and all the guys down there who are working with the NXT talent. But it's not a good idea to have like your little side project, and then you go present it in front of the teacher, right? And then the teacher's like, "Wait a minute, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this." You need to have the overseeing eyes influence the whole time, so that way when that star gets to the main roster, there's not going to be dramatic changes. You're not going to take away things that made that person great at NXT. So with Vince now as NXT product, some people were afraid, oh, is that going to hurt? Is that going to hurt NXT because now Vince is involved? I think that it only makes it stronger from the standpoint of he knows the players now, so that when he takes them from NXT to the main show, there's not going to be this big change, in my opinion, in their character.
Well, for me, like I say, it's been a lot of guys in NXT that have been ready to go for quite some time. Okay, those guys have been, I wouldn't say, fronting NXT, but they have been a main part of, the star power. Certain guys, and for those guys to be on the main roster for me is the place for a lot of those guys should have been a long time ago. I was talking about guys like Tommaso Ciampa, and one say, should he move to the main roster? I say Tommaso Ciampa he's kind of like a player coach for me. He's a guy that fits perfectly in NXT. Some guys, like just say for instance, the Hit Row, these guys are stars. As well as they could be put in situations where they can make somebody else, look good at the same time. So my thing is certain guys and other guys, you got to look at them totally different. That's just my opinion on that.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I think that that's what they're going to do with this NXT 2.0 moving forward. I still don't love the colors. I can't get past the colors. I don't
You
like
know
the
what,
colors.
you know what I think, man. I think it's different. It looks indie, but I think that's the whole allure of it. It's supposed to look indie.
Perhaps,
I
yeah.
mean, just say for instance, for one moment, if reality of wrestling had that same setup, what would you be saying then?
Well, I'd say it looks great, but no. I'm not mad at the setup itself. I just don't really love the color scheme.
No,
You
I
know,
understand that. I understand that.
you remember when Rock and Cena were feuding, and Rock said you look like a big fat bowl of fruity pebbles. Like that's what I feel like with this thing. It's just too many colors for me. I like the black and gold of NXT. I understand if you want to change it a little bit. The logo
Yeah.
looks cool, but it looks like we're in the command center for the Power Rangers or something. I
You
don't
know,
know.
man, like I say, to each his own. A lot of people look at it totally different. I feel like it's upbeat. For me, when I'm working out, I need certain colors to actually motivate me, to get me in the mood, to want to get in there and really, really train. Darker colors don't work well for me when I'm getting ready to try to get motivated. I'm just saying,
Oh,
um,
interesting.
to each his own. Just like in my gym, the color is green,
Yeah.
like a light green. And when I get in there, man, I'm totally in that Hulk mode. I'm ready to get busy. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking at it that way. But I'm just saying, overall, for me, NXT 2.0, it's a hit right now, as far as I'm concerned.